Hey guys, just wanted to make a quick video, talk a little bit about guns, the AR-15 and everything that's going on. I'm going to keep it short. I wrote a few things down. Now, I know I know a little bit about shooting victims and treating them. I spent quite a bit of time as a combat medic in the Army. Did a couple of tours in Iraq. Treated quite a few gunshot victims. So I know firsthand the damage that the 223 can do to a human body, as well as AK-47s and many other different type of weapons. Right now everybody's talking about gun control, a lot of mass shootings. People are politicizing it. I think that's wrong. You shouldn't. You need to call it out for what it is. You know, crazy people are crazy. Mental health is a community project. I think first and foremost we need to agree that I think the first step is to mandate that mental health needs to be included in all insurance plans. It needs to be a law. Doesn't matter what kind of insurance you have. It needs to be copay free. It needs to be included. That way everybody can go no matter what and get mental health. Because right now, I'm telling you, I got 2 different insurances, and it is hard to find a psychologist or psychiatrist that will take either TRICARE or Medicare. So that needs to change. If that changes, more people might seek help. Now that's something that all gun owners can get behind. That's a real thing. That's not a political thing. Now, that said, we need to have some real talk here. I'm independent. I don't really care what side you're on, as long as you can sit down and talk to me. But start this out. The shooting in Florida, I don't know, a couple of years ago or whatever. I'm going to ask, what weapon did the gunman use in, was it Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School? And you're going to say it's AR-15. Well, you'd be wrong. But that's what they all said. Well, everybody's pushing AR-15, 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 or assault rifle. Well, you know, of course, assault rifle is, I know everybody says, oh, yeah, gun control people. It's a made-up term. It's a made-up term. It's a made-up term. Well, yes, it's a made-up term. It doesn't exist. All right. AR-15, armor light rifle. It doesn't mean assault rifle. Blah blah blah. You've heard it all before. You know. Whatever. I'm here to tell you. 1956, the Armalite Rifle Company created the AR-15 for the military. So yes, it was a military weapon first. Okay, they couldn't sell it, so they sold the rights to Colt. Colt then successfully sold it to the military. So they sold it as the Colt M16. So when they sold it to the military as the M16, they then recreated the civilian version, semi-automatic, as the AR-15. But it was originally a military AR-15. Then it went to the M16. Then the AR-15 was put back as a civilian and law enforcement version. Okay, let's get that straight. So technically, yes, it was a weapon of war first. All right, now Yes, I admitted that. Okay. Let's see. Let's get that right. Now, in 1970s, mid 1970s, the patent expired, and that's when everybody else started creating, you know, all the different knockoffs on the AR style uh, platforms, right? You know, all the different kinds. Based on loosely on a 223, some were 22 long rifles. You got all different calibers. It's not just the 223s, but even the AR-10s with the 308s, and you got all the way up to 50 calibers in that style now. Now, to answer the first question, what did your shooter use in my high school? That was actually a Smith & Wesson M&P 15 AR platform, right? But it's not an AR-15. Okay, out of the way. Now, they were around for 40 years plus before one was ever used in a mass shooting. It wasn't until 2007 that an AR style weapon was used in a mass shooting. Okay, so what happened? Okay, again, back to the mental health. It wasn't our gun laws. Okay, it has to do with our society. Okay, it wasn't our gun laws. Nothing changed. All right. Every year, 275,000 firearms are stolen from residential burglaries and personal property thefts during commissions of crime. Now, that's a big problem. That's where most guns that are used in crimes are acquired. Okay, I'm not going to go into where all the gun crimes are generally committed. You've all heard that before. It's generally the gang warfare and such, which is true. Okay, most gun crimes are gang related, but they get their guns on the streets, bypassing all gun laws, from stolen weapons. Most stolen weapons are from residential burglaries, which means you need to keep your guns locked up. That's important. That's another change that is generally acceptable to most gun owners, and you need to accept that fact. Guns need to be under lock and key. Yes, easy access is important for self-defense, but as a veteran, I have easy access to my weapons, but I'm not going to say exactly what I have, but let's just say I have biometric access. It's quick access. I don't just have them laying around. So there are ways to secure your weapons and still have easy access to them. Contrary to what you may believe in the media, violent crimes with firearms have been steadily falling since 1993. By a lot. By half, in fact. So gun crimes are not going up. They're going way down. All right. Now, let's knock something else out. Now, the FBI, the CDC, National Institute for Justice, everybody lists a mass shooting. Now, this is the official listing. A mass shooting is 4 or more people killed in a single incident. That's what counts as a mass shooting. Now, according to that, using the most liberal websites, which is Gun Violence Archive, they currently list 255 plus mass shootings this year. That's the stat that everybody in the media is using. Well, according to the FBI, CDC, and National Institute for Justice, there have been only 20 mass shootings in 2019. 20. And that's using the most liberal statistics from the Gun Violence Archive that meet that criteria. So that's legit. 20. All right. I actually only counted 17, but using the statistics from that liberal website, I got 20 counted up. I went through 13 pages of statistics to count that up. So you're welcome. You didn't have to go through and get a headache, but that's legit, 20. Now, gun deaths, now this is 2016 data. I couldn't find anything newer from the FBI. I'm sure they'll come out with newer when our government decides to actually get off their butt and do anything new. But a total amount of firearm deaths, not including suicide, okay? I don't include suicide because if you're going to go down that route, it doesn't matter what you have access to, you're going to find a way to do it. Trust me, 22 a day is too many. You know, veteran suicide is terrible. But 15,070 gun deaths, not counting suicide, not 40,000, 50,000, whatever numbers you see out there. All right. That's total. That's counting the firearms that aren't really firearms, that they're not really sure. Basically, kinetic energy deaths that they aren't sure that are firearms. So basically 11,000 of those are actual firearms that they recovered that they know are actual firearm damage. 7,100 of those are handguns. Rifles, AR-15s and such, are only 374. Okay. 7,100 for handguns, 374 rifles. And you're worried about the deadly AR-15. You're not worried about handguns. Okay. Shotguns are 262. And get this, just for context, knives killed 1,604 people. So knives killed more people than rifles. In fact, they killed, 4 times as many people as rifles? Yeah. Now, to talk about how deadly the AR-15 is. No, I'm not making light of it. Okay, don't get me twisted on this. It's a monster as far as how accurate it is and easy to shoot it is. It is a very easy, it's like shooting a .22 because that's the caliber it is. It has a little more powder behind it and it goes very fast. All right, but that's what makes it so deadly, is because it's easy to shoot. The reason they designed it for our troops is because they have to design it for people with the lowest IQ. They have to make things stupid so that the dumbest of people can operate it well. Okay, they don't give nice things to the troops. They give nice things to the special operators, and they don't use the M16s or the M4s. They have the nice weapons. You need to understand that. Now, I pulled this off a very, very old forum from 20 years ago. Okay, this is before the old, any hoopla about the AR-15. This is before any days about, this before the term assault rifle even existed. This is before the AR platform even was a thing, okay? This is from some big names in the gun industries. They were simply, it was a help forum for new shooters who were just looking for advice on their first rifle. Okay, so this is just a post from a guy who is wanting some help on deciding between a 22 long rifle, like a squirrel gun, and a 223 rifle. Okay, like a mini 14 or something. All right, and it's like it says I'm new to the whole gun caliber game and looking for a small caliber rifle. It says, can someone tell me the difference between a 22 long rifle and a 223? I'm assuming they are right about the same size and caliber. Now, all the replies to this are from people who are the creators and manufacturers of major rifles and people who design ammunition loads and such. So these guys now are big name people. Back then they were kind of new to the game, but they knew what they were talking about. So I'm not going to name any names. 22 long rifle is a rimfire where the firing pin strikes the rim of the bullet. Compared to a 223, it's low power, cheap to obtain, and is used for small bore target shooting. I wouldn't use it on much apart from a rabbit or small bird sized game, and is definitely out past 100 yards on a very calm day. Next post. 223 is a high powered Varmint cartridge. The firing pin hits a primer cap in the center of the shell. Uses the same size bullet as a 22 long rifle, although slightly heavier, and fires them at a lot higher velocity. Shots up to 200 yards should be relatively easy. It is a lot louder, and a missed shot can travel further. The spent case can be reloaded with the correct tools to make tailored loads to the rifle, resulting in better accuracy. Some people have shot deer-sized game with them, though I wouldn't recommend it. And it says, next post. Depending on what you're shooting, you should make your decision. A lot of people shoot to 22 for fun and start when they are very young, progressing to things like a 223. Both are very small calibers, but the 223 will do a 22 long rifle's job if you're hunting in the open and leave you the versatility to chasing larger things. And it says, thank you very much, Brad. You answered my questions. I was aware the 22 is long rifle and the 22 is centerfire rifle. I'm wanting it for small games, birds, rabbits, etc. But I want to get the 223 in case I have to shoot bigger things down the road. And he replies, the 22 is a small game gun unless you're poaching or a hitman for the mob. Squirrels, rabbits, chippies, and the like at close range, under 100 yards for sure, 50 more likely. A 223 is a rifle capable of killing prairie dogs and coyotes and the like at 300 yards. It will also kill a deer easily in areas where that's legal. You should have one of each. Another point to keep in mind is small game that is to be eaten will benefit from using the 22 long rifle. The 223 is a varmint rifle with high velocity bullets designed to disintegrate on contact. The rabbit, squirrels, and edible birds will not be edible using the 223. Get a 243 for games and for deer and bigger game. Yeah, Bob makes a great point. You shoot small games with a 223 and any other high velocity varmint bullet, and it isn't fit to eat. In most places, squirrels and rabbit are game, not varmints. And then it goes on to say, well, it may be legal to hunt a whitetail deer with a 223, and it can be done. The 223 just doesn't have the ass for it. You should use a rifle chambered for a cartridge that is sufficient to take a reasonable shot. A 223 won't do that. Some people hunt hogs with them, but it's not safe. I had a friend who shot a hog between the eyes, and he was getting ready to field dress him, and it came back from the great unknown and nearly gored him. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a fair point. So, anyway, I just wanted to share that. This before the hoopla of the 223 and the assault rifle thing, and people were talking about it as a varmint round. So, and that's what it really is. It's a varmint round. It was never meant as a man killer round. It's not. It's not some crazy powerful thing. It's a very light round. I mean, it's a small round. We used to use them back in Texas. Not we used to use the 22 250, the 22250, and that's an even more powerful round than the 223. Anyway, this is running way long. I'm gonna have to edit this down or something. But anyway, I just want to say, look, hey, when you take a rifle and you add a hand grip, otherwise known as a pistol grip, and a mount for a sling, and a detachable magazine, this for mine, I have a little 22 conversion on it, so I can shoot all day long and cost me like 10 cents. You know, see, when you add a removable mount or magazine and a pistol grip, it makes it an assault rifle according to Congress. Yeah, that's all it is. Seriously, that's all they say is the difference between a hunting rifle with no pistol grip, and it's got a removable magazine and a hunting rifle, right? It's just a round cylinder that drops out, and you put the stuff in, and that sometimes you have to load it in the rear, you know, whatever. But it's got a scary looking black mag. That's it. It's got a little, you know, that's it. It doesn't make it any more lethal. Same rounds, same rifle. It's just you got the pistol grip. Doesn't do anything for you. It's cosmetics. Anyway, that's my opinion. Changed my mind.